There are few things in life more universally irritating than paying high taxes. Now add to the fact that you don't get to choose what your taxes are used to pay for. Frustrating, we know. Wouldn't it be great if the government would let you take those same tax dollars and put them to use for you? Now, because of new tax laws, they do, with some limitations. If you choose to spend those tax dollars on something that's important to the government, they will reward you with sizable tax benefits. Let us explain. States are passing laws mandating that electricity must come from alternative sources. President Obama has stated that 80% of the nation's energy should come from alternative sources within the next 20 years.
Instead of subsidizing yesterday's energy, let's invest in tomorrow's. So tonight I challenge you to join me in setting a new goal. By 2035, 80% of America's electricity will come from clean energy sources.
And currently, less than 12% of all energy comes from alternative sources. There is a huge need for alternative solutions. On October 3, 2008, the House of Representatives passed a bill into law that supported energy efficiency and renewable energy as a way to stabilize the American economy, creating jobs and putting control of energy back in the hands of America. This package allowed for an energy tax credit to be taken on the purchase of equipment that has the potential to generate solar energy, like this project here. Take a look at this clip from KSL Channel 5 News out of Utah.
An alternative source of energy, Utah's sun, could soon be generating lots of electricity for Southern California.
In what could become a massive solar project, specially designed towers are now going up near the Great Basin in Delta. Ed Yates takes us to a spot in our western desert.
Once built, these unique solar towers will follow Utah's desert sun as it moves across the sky. Like giant magnifying glasses, each dish will focus the sun's rays to heat exchangers that will pull off heat and convert it to steam. Steam will rocket fire these turbines that will drive the generators. Burning pieces of cardboard and wood show the intensity of the rays even from this residual magnification that hasn't even been focused yet. The California Power Consortium has already bought into the first stage of this project.
Phase 1 right now is for about 10 to 20 towers. Now imagine 700 acres out here with 1,000 towers. Each tower with 4 solar dishes.
With each tower producing 75 to 100 kilowatts at 1,000 towers, that's enough electricity for 50,000 homes in Southern California. It will travel from this side about 5 miles, intersecting into the grid near the IPP plant. The future for alternative energy sources? Not bad for a start. Ed Yates, near Delta.
You now have the opportunity to be one of the select few who could own these lenses with no money out of pocket and participate in what could be the greatest shift in energy production and electricity purchasing since the discovery of electricity. Unlike most solar energy plants, this creates electricity for less than traditional sources, like coal-fired plants. These panels generate extreme heat, and the technology allows for the electricity to be generated around the clock, not just while the sun is shining. And you can be on the cutting edge of all that and benefit substantially by leveraging the tax program the government instituted to encourage people to participate in finding solutions for green energy. From now until the end of 2011, you can actually get back federal taxes that you've already paid over the past 5 years and use those tax dollars to purchase green energy equipment. This equipment purchase will also provide you with significant ongoing tax benefits, as well as the ability to generate potential income for the next 35 years. This is all made possible for you through Raw Power Pro Associates. Here's how the Raw Power program works. Each solar lens has a price of $3,500. The energy tax credit gives you 30% of the purchase price, which is $1,050 per lens. The remaining balance for each lens is $2,450. What Raw Power Pro has done is create a program that allows you to purchase the lens with only 30% down, using the energy tax credit dollars you get back as a down payment. The remaining balance will be paid through a portion of the energy revenue generated by your lens over a 30-year period of time. This allows you to purchase the lens with no out-of-pocket expense. You see, we are so confident in our solar technology that we have arranged financing for your lens on an interest-free loan that is paid only when energy is produced and only by the revenue of that energy. This works with one lens or hundreds of lenses. Now, Raw Power Pro knows that in this time of economic hardship, very few people will have $1,050 to pay now and then wait to be reimbursed by their tax credit dollars after filing. Raw Power's program lets you pay only 20% of the 30% up front, or $210 per lens. The remaining amount can be paid after you've filed your taxes and received your return. This initial payment is needed because remember, you must make the purchase within the tax year in order to be eligible. Once you receive your return, you would pay yourself back the 20% that you paid as a down payment, and then send the remainder of the return to Raw Power Pro Associates to complete the remaining 30% down payment owed. Here's where it gets interesting. You remember in the beginning of this we said that you could get back the taxes you've paid over the past 5 years? Well, here's how that works. When you purchase your lenses and participate in our program, you are becoming a small business in the energy sector. Then, because of the Small Business Jobs Act of 2010, if your tax credit this year is more than you already owe, you can carry that credit back up to 5 years and get back the taxes you've already paid. What we are going to do is make sure that you purchase enough lenses that your tax credit is large enough to carry back that credit for the full 5 years, thus getting you the maximum amount of lenses possible with nothing out of pocket. To do that, simply look at your past 5 years of tax returns and add up what you've paid in federal tax over the past 5 years. Once you've added up the total, divide that number by $1,050, and that is the number of lenses you should purchase to maximize your tax benefits. Once you have purchased your lenses, there are significant advantages available to you. The first is another tax benefit called depreciation. This is a tax deduction that offsets the taxes you owe. Depreciation can create a substantial tax benefit for you by offsetting the taxes you would pay now and in the future. Depreciation has been around for many years, and this green energy equipment qualifies for special depreciation rules which increase your immediate benefit. You have the opportunity to purchase a $3,500 asset while only paying $1,050, with the remaining balance paid by the energy revenue over 30 years. You will get back the entire 30% down payment through the energy credit. Then you get to depreciate that asset, which will provide you with substantial ongoing tax benefits by offsetting taxes you would owe in the future. You may be thinking that this sounds too good to be true, but it's actually quite simple. Purchasing these lenses is no different than any other green energy investments. Have you ever purchased new energy efficient windows or a furnace and then received a tax credit for your purchase? Well, this is exactly the same thing. You're getting a 30% energy tax credit on the purchase of your equipment. Simple. The 5-year carryback on this tax credit is what allows you to get the previous 5 years' tax dollars paid back, and depreciation gives you additional tax benefits going forward. Still simple. The thing that really makes this all work is the financing program that Raw Power Pro has put into place, allowing you to fund your purchase with only the amount of money you would get back from recouping your past 5 years of federal taxes. Why would they do this? Because Raw Power is confident in the reality of energy being produced and realize the trillion-dollar industry that they have the opportunity to be a leader in. They are willing to risk their profits to ensure they make profits. It's that simple. You get the point. You own the equipment with no money out of pocket and you get tax benefits ongoing. But what is that equipment you own actually going to do for you? Each lens has the capacity to return $150 per lens from energy generated for the next 35 years. Starting in year 6, a small amount of that $150 will be kept to begin paying back the remaining balance of the lens. So this means that over your 35 years of ownership, you would make $5,250 on each lens. Now subtract the remaining balance of the interest-free loan and you make $2,800 on each lens. Add that amount to the tax benefit you've gained through depreciation, and depending on your tax bracket, you are going to make between $3,400 and $4,000 per lens purchased. Let me show you how this could work for you. Let's say you decide to take advantage of this alternative energy push and leverage these tax advantages. The first thing you do is determine how many lenses you can purchase. You find out what you paid in federal taxes in the previous 5 years, going back through 2006. Remember, you need to look at your total liability minus any refunds received to get your total. You discover that you have paid a total of $31,500 when you combine the past 5 years of taxes paid. Now, take that $31,500 and divide it by $1,050 to determine how many lenses you can purchase with your redirected tax dollars, which in this example would be 30. These lenses have a full value of $105,000. When you file your taxes, you get a 30% energy tax credit, which gives you $31,500, making your tax credit equal to the initial purchase price. While you are filing your taxes, you also take depreciation on this asset. In this example, you take the total value of the lenses, $105,000, then subtract half of the credit you've already taken. And you now have a depreciable asset that you can use as a tax deduction of $89,250. Now, if you didn't think that carryback was a good enough reason to act quickly on this, here's another one. The Section 48 tax credit allows solar property to qualify for accelerated depreciation and 100% expensing. This means that you can depreciate 100% of the purchase this year. But that 100% depreciation is only in place until the end of this year. So in this example, you've recaptured your tax dollars, purchased 30 lenses, and established a substantial tax benefit in the future through depreciation. Now, let's show you potential revenue from these lenses. We want to be clear that we cannot guarantee performance and return on this equipment until it officially begins to generate and sell electricity. However, as you saw in the news clip, the science and technology is clearly coming together. When electricity is sold, you will receive approximately $150 per year per lens. This is the net after all expenses. These expenses include the cost of a management and operation company to manage your lenses, the lease on the land and equipment, and all other necessary expenses. After your lenses have been in service for 5 years, you will start to pay back the interest-free loan on your lenses. You will make 30 equal payments out of your annual revenue, reducing your total take-home amount to $68 per year. Remember that this is the only way that the remaining balance for the purchase price of the lens is paid for. It can only be paid for by revenue generated by the energy. In the current example with 30 lenses, if and when electricity is generated, you would make approximately $83,700 just from energy sold, plus whatever tax benefit you received from your $89,000 worth of depreciation deduction. Not a bad income considering it cost you nothing out of pocket. In summary, you are investing in green energy by purchasing solar lenses using tax dollars you redirect. The worst case scenario is that you don't pay as much taxes as you previously did, and the best case scenario is that this provides you tax benefits as well as an annual revenue. So what do you do now? Remember, you have to purchase the units in 2011 in order to take advantage of the tax benefits for the 2011 tax year. But you won't have your tax refund until after you file in January of 2012. What you will do is simply pay 20% of the purchase price as a down payment at the time of contract signing, and then pay the remainder after your tax dollars back. When you file your tax returns and get your tax refunds, you would simply pay yourself back the 20% down and then send the remaining balance to Raw Power Pro for your purchase, and you're off and running. Keep in mind that you will no longer have to pay in federal taxes for this year, as you will not owe any federal tax this year due to the energy credit and depreciation, so you could use that money to purchase your lenses. We have an innovative technology that is one of the solutions the entire world is searching for, and a way for you to get involved in that solution ahead of the rest. What's even better is that this will cost nothing out of pocket, provide significant tax benefits, and potentially generate revenue over the next 35 years. We have detailed information available to you on the tax law that you saw explained in this presentation, as well as specific instructions that you could use to file your taxes yourself or take to your accountant so that they can understand exactly how to file for your tax benefits and credits. Thank you.